It's funny you say that because you know how when people always talk about the best diss tracks of all time, and they always say like "Hit 'Em Up" is like one of the greatest diss tracks. The shit don't get good until they stop rapping.
Yeah. This is my water.
Yeah, that's yours.
All right, yeah. He basically, it's not that the track is so good, but he like just gets tired of trying to rhyme shit, and he just starts being mean.
Yeah,
he's being a dickhead. That's what's fucking cool about it. He starts off the saying, "That's fucked your bitch," and then at the end he like says it again, and you know.
Let me stop because I don't want to bash Detroit or LA because I would like to go see both cities.
I'm trying to recite the lyrics in my head. I'm like, is this shit ass? I mean, you know how I feel about Tupac, so let's not go there. But,
well, since we mentioned Tupac, also, you know what I was thinking about this week about Diddy.
What?
You know how Diddy used to always say like, you know, I'll grind when I sleep. Like, you know, is like I'll sleep when I'm dead. Mm-hmm. That was like one of his like mottos. And it's like now we seeing this nigga had plenty of time to sleep. Like
that's one point I haven't heard nobody make yet.
Yo, a nap would have saved this nigga a lot of trouble.
Yo, that is fucking hilarious. Cause there definitely is that, like, you know, you just gonna be sitting at home doing nothing. No, you need to be out there grinding and fucking putting in work and making money.
And now we find out this nigga wasn't even putting in the work. He was sitting there watching the work.
Fuck. That is a great point. Yeah, that's why I don't trust all these motherfucking grind culture niggas and shit. Yeah. Like all the fucking. Cause you ever seen the video of the dude that was putting sparkling water on his face?
Yeah.
If you got time to crack open a bottle of fucking sparkling water or a can, get a big ass bowl, pour it in there, wash your face with it, and then dump it out, you could probably get in a game of Madden. This whole fucking thing makes no sense. You're really onto something. Yeah. We letting the most sexually deviant people tell us how to fucking live our lives.
But what's up, y'all? I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the We Want More podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Moore.
Sorry, I tried to burp. I couldn't do it. I keep trying to burp in the microphone. It's not working.
It's your name.
Oh, who gives a fuck? I don't even give a shit anymore.
And Pepsi is to the left of me. We on episode 82. Please be sure to subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to this on, whether that be on Apple or Spotify. Stop right now, man. Scroll down, give us 5 stars, and give us those words of affirmation, man. Tell us how much you love us, man. Please leave a review right now. Leave a review, comment, all of that good stuff. Spread this with somebody. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to that, man. No more hats, man. No more hats.
No more hats? Oh, no more hats. Yeah. You don't have hats? Your hairline might grow back now.
No. I'm just embracing. I'm really stepping into this Jason Statham.
Like, don't hats really kind of fuck up your hair a little bit?
No, I don't think that's.
Because I actually like hats.
Yeah, and it's just like as I look more and more into the mirror, I'm really loving this stubble look.
That's such a great mindset.
Yeah, I'm really growing into this. So,
and I wish more men would be like this instead of fucking putting a Sharpie on it.
Yeah, but
yeah. Also, what'd you say? Oh yeah, you said show some love. Yeah. We've been seeing people review things, which is cool. And also, if you see us on the street and you want to say hello, please do.
Yeah.
I was on the train on the way over here, and some dude said, "Fucking, just what's up."
Yeah, and
I didn't talk to him for long because I was on my phone writing some shit. But shout out to him.
No, that definitely does feel good because it's like even if they don't know your name, just to know that like, yo, ain't you the dude that be doing the comedy shit? Like just hearing that feel good, man. So yeah, definitely. If it don't. What do you say? It don't cost nothing to show a nigga some love.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just there was no love in this space right now, and then suddenly there's love. So let's spread it. If you listen to this, what's the nigga name? Brandon. If you listen to this, shout out to him.
Yeah, but what
else?
Yeah,
the Husky you know, and it's 90 degrees outside, so I don't know how I feel about that. But see, he's a cool guy, and I appreciate you. And if you listen to this, know that.
That shit do be making me mad when I
It's fucking 80 degrees outside.
Yo, that shit happened the other day when I was getting on the train. And somebody had a husky on the platform, and I'm like, yo, if I'm uncomfortable in this short sleeve shirt, this nigga can't breathe right now.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it, dude. What you gotta get whatever dog goes with your outfit sometimes. So if you wear a lot of fluffy white shit, or if you like real dark and the contrast of the white dog, you know, it's sometimes you gotta just have a couple dogs so you can switch them out with the outfit. Yeah, because Pepsi don't really go with nothing that I wear. That's why I'll be posting no pictures with them. It's a cute dog. I was just like, I gotta crop him out a lot of the time.
No, Pepsi been going through it this past week.
What happened?
He got allergies.
Yeah, allergies. Damn, so he really is a whole nigga. Like he's really a person.
Yeah, he's so like his eyes have been like really irritated as far as like, you know, just I do normally try to like wash his face in the morning.
What the fuck are you saying? You wash his face?
Yeah, so
you don't got a face. He got a fucking snout with hair on it. How do you wash a dog's face?
Like, you know, he comes to the bathroom like regular. He do his routine.
Do you use sparkling water to wash your dog's face? That's funny as fuck. So what? Like his face is just wet for a while because he got fur. So.
It's a nigga that stand outside the bathroom and put on his loafers for him.
You got a fucking American Psycho dog.
And then he go run next to a Jeep.
Yo, you wake up in the morning, your dog doing fucking sit-ups and planks and shit.
Pepsi be in here doing get ready with me videos. But yeah, no, he do got
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he do got allergies, so we're just keeping an eye on that. But other than that, Father's Day is coming up, man.
That's not a real holiday, by the way. I wanted to mention that, but I think you should get your dad something if you got him around. Just know that it don't matter if you don't.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. And no, but you know what's funny? When I think about Father's Day, you know what always used to be, and I think sometimes it even still is this thing on social media where, like, you know, the beef about people saying like Happy Father's Day to like to mothers, to single mothers. But now as I get older, it's like that shit really don't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, you gonna tell him how to feel about not having a dad? I mean, he's not saying Happy Father's Day to my mom to spite your dad. He's just saying, right. I have it.
Yeah, and she might have been a person there, you know, and we don't know why that dad might have not been there. Dad could have passed away or anything, or like, you know. So yeah, happy Father's Day to anybody that celebrates, man.
Yeah, Happy Father's Day, even though it's not a real holiday. I'm gonna get my dad something this year though. I'm gonna get him like at least a card. I always get like a card or some shit. But like real dads know, you ask him for something for Father's Day, that shit whack. Yeah. It's not a real holiday.
Yeah, that is one of the things that you know, as progressive as I am, it's like, nigga, stop bitching.
Yeah, no. And the fact that I'm not in jail right now is your gift.
And also coming up this week, Juneteenth.
This is gonna probably come out before. Yeah,
it is.
So yeah, preemptive Happy Juneteenth. That's a real holiday.
Oh, I was gonna say that's kind of in the same boat.
No,
like it's real, but like we still getting used to it. So it's like it's creeping up to like the holiday charts.
It's the real. It really is like the black holiday we should have been celebrating. Because if anybody doesn't know, Juneteenth is we celebrated because it was the last people that found out they was free because, you know, word traveled all the way to wherever. I forget where they were, but
I believe in Texas.
Yeah,
because, you know, and I think I mentioned this before, but when I started traveling, you could easily see how, like, when you get to them southern states and Midwest states, you could easily see how nobody knew that slavery was over. Because it was like, how was you going to find out when the next house is a mile away?
Yeah. And you're not letting nobody own your property if you a slave owner. Like, yo, come free my fucking slaves. Get the fuck out of here.
Right, yeah.
You're not inviting people over to come free your fucking slaves.
So you just going to tell them, like, shh, don't say nothing. Just keep it going.
All right, I'm like, I don't know if I should say
no,
this.
I get
but if
what
I was
saying.
one of the white dudes back then and I was at like a bar drinking and somebody said, Joe, you still got slaves? They supposed to be free now. I would shoot them and bury them. I'm not saying that I would ever do that, but if you are one of those guys, you wouldn't just be, okay, yeah, fuck it. I guess,
Right.
I'll tell them myself. Yeah. So I bet there was plenty. I mean, obviously there was people that were kept slaves, even though the slaves probably found out. They probably just said, fuck it, I'm keeping you.
No,
but there definitely was people that like,
I watched.
Don't tell them.
I watched a documentary about that, about a guy that didn't know. I forget what it was on. Might have been like, one of them Vice type documentaries or something like that, where it was a guy that didn't know that it was over until like the 1950s. Like his family didn't know. They just like, went
Where was he at?
I'm not even sure, but I
should look into that.
I definitely could look that up.
Let's give that a second, because I actually want to dive into that. I mean, that's not it, but modern day slavery that's a good topic. I think if we're gonna do some reading for Juneteenth, we need to look at the history of slavery and also look at the ways that it's morphed into less recognizable forms. Because we all okay with slavery on some level, whether it be a motherfucker in another country or in a jail.
Yeah, it says
Louisiana. It's some motherfuckers in Louisiana that don't know they free right now. Why you eating alligator, dude? Just go to the fucking store. You eating raccoons? 2025?
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Get a McChicken, dude.
Eating, bro.
What the fuck?
Eating raccoon to the point that they nickname them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they say like, yo, we just gonna have some coon.
I recently found out. I don't know if I recently found out, but I recently found out exactly how that term coon morphed into a pejorative because of black people eating raccoon meat because it was free.
Shit, you better give me some Amber Rose. You want me to eat some coon? Some Stacey Dash. That's the only coon I'm touching. No, but yeah, this documentary right here, it says
maybe that's why she's so angry all the time.
It says in this documentary, it says that this person traveled to Louisiana and actually interviewed one person who says he was held as a slave with his family until 1965.
That's 100% believable.
Because especially is like, I mean, how they trap you into that system of needing the family to survive. Yeah,
so there was people that I'm sure were kept. I mean, there was people that were probably was thinking, where am I go? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna just stay here, and they probably worked for low wages or whatever the fuck they could get. So there was that. But yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about the fact that there's probably people that just didn't tell their slaves to leave, which makes sense.
And you also born into it.
Yeah, yeah. You can't read. They can put as many fucking papers in your face that say you free as they want, but if you can't read, you can't read.
Do you want to talk about? Do you want? Well,
damn, you don't want to know how my week was, dude?
Oh, matter of fact, yeah, I forgot.
Now, how was? I want to say because
how was your week?
I saw you yesterday.
Yeah, we saw each other yesterday briefly for a second.
But what did you get into? Like, what was your fucking day like?
Yesterday,
so you had some spots.
Yeah, I had a show yesterday, and I kind of been talking about this like on stage, where it's weird how like throughout my day, the first time I talk to somebody might be on stage because I'm just hanging with him all day, like I'm just legit just hanging with my dog all day. So it's like the first time I'm having like a real interaction where I actually have to think might not be until I got to make people laugh.
No, that's that's a real
which
experience,
which is weird. Where it's like I got to stop doing that. I need to start like having like just conversations with people, so just to like kind of warm my brain up.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just call somebody.
Yeah,
because I'll think about that where I'm not going anywhere, not doing nothing, and I know that I haven't even really seen the sun or fucking talked to anybody. That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
I actually fucking will go to get coffee, and apparently the way I look sometimes when I haven't had coffee, it must be strange, because it happened to me today. I was trying to say, can I get a coffee? Mm-hmm. But I guess I just walked in looking like disheveled or something, and then the girl behind the counter was like, let's get you some coffee. And that's not the first time that has happened to me, so that's funny.
Damn, that's a crazy way to tell you that you look like shit. But
it's just an energy thing too. Sometimes your energy will just be off, and if you work at if you're a barista or some shit, you probably know.
You know the signs of when somebody look like they doing bad.
Yeah. But all right, so here's the thing that happened at the coffee shop also that I wanted to talk about, and it was a very minor thing, but I'm the person where like a very small interaction in my life will occur, and I will think about it for the next 6 months, or every time I shower for the rest of my life. So I was.
No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Like when something happened, I'm like, and then when you get home and you by yourself, that's what you think. Like, damn, I should have handled it this way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't think there was a right or wrong, but I was looking at as a coffee shop, and they just fucking every coffee shop sells shit for some reason.
Okay.
So they had fucking bunch of like records and magazines and shit. It was a cool place, by the way.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah, I think it's a black owned too.
I think that's really the aesthetic of like coffee shops is going for now.
Yeah, just fucking.
I'm tired of that.
Hoarder. Shit. It's a hoarder fucking vibe. But this place is cool, and and I'm pretty sure black dude owns it, so it's cool. But I bought a magazine. I asked the girl, I was like, how much is this fucking old ass magazine? She was $5. All right, I'll get it. And then the nigga walk in and then bring it up, and that shit say 15. I was like, yo, she told me 5. and he said 15. I was like, I give you 10. And then it really wasn't bad, but I got it for 5. But when he rang up, when I saw the 5, I was just thinking, I don't even want this shit no more, dude. I don't even fucking want it anymore. Because now I feel like I haggled for $10. Yeah. But nigga, and every shower for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be thinking that, nigga, you said 5. So, and it was a magazine from the 90s.
You probably got her fired.
That's why I said I don't want to get nobody in trouble. I'm not even really trying to haggle. It's just that's what I heard. That's the reason I brought it over here.
That just happened at a comedy club this week.
What?
Where it was comedians in the green room, and one of the waitress, like black chick, walked in the green room, and she was like, I'm the only black person here, and they just fired me. And basically what happened was a comedian had complained about her. And then he came in drunk, feeling all bad, like, yo, I think I just got her fired. And like the manager was like, no, don't worry about it. It's been other things. But it's like, no, he essentially did get her fired.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up to do to even if it's not his fault. You got to give it. Yeah. And out of respect for obviously your workers, their feelings. If their feelings deserve to be protected in this instance, you can't just have them thinking, wow, if only I didn't spill this glass of ginger ale, I'd still have my job. That hurts. But also, firing a nigga in front of me is crazy as shit because I don't want him fired. I just want my fucking experience to be improved.
Right, yeah.
Imagine you go to KFC and then, yo, sorry, y'all forgot my biscuit. Get the fuck out. I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to get you 3 biscuits. You get the fuck out right now. That shit will make you feel so angry and like... but uncomfortable and nervous.
Right, yeah. It was like I was just slightly inconvenienced. Yeah, I ain't mean to fuck this person's life up.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
And then they put that comedian in this position like, yo, I'm so sorry. Like, I know somebody that's hiring, and now he's drunk trying to convince this person like, yo, I could help you like get a job. And it's like, no, nigga, I wanted the job I had.
Yeah, and they're both probably not fond of each other,
right?
Which how could you be? That's just a very strange situation to put either one of those parties in. Yeah. And I do feel bad for both of them, even though he got somebody fired. That's why I don't complain.
No, I'm the.
If I got to complain against you, we just gonna rumble. I'm not getting you fired.
Meet me outside, dickhead.
Yeah, that's all it has to be.
I told you
it's between us.
I told you I ain't want pickles. Throw your hands up, yo.
I think that's why snitching is so bad. Because you
see, I was with you.
But think about it. Well, here's the thing: black people think they could do shit to you, and you're not gonna go to the cops. Yeah. Enjoy your night's stay, young man. But I do understand why they think that you black and I'm black. and both of us understand the ramifications of the criminal justice system, and we don't want to get caught up in this. So I'm gonna smack the fuck out you, take your phone, and everything's gonna be cool. I understand why you think that I wouldn't do that to you, but I fucking will.
Yo, it's funny.
I absolutely will.
It's funny you say that, right? Because I was just thinking about something. I saw Marc Lamont Hill talking about it. You familiar with Marc Lamont Hill?
Yeah, I'm actually a fan of his work, and he has a bookstore in Germantown, right?
Yeah. He got a bookstore right on Germantown.
Uncle Bobby's?
Yeah. He is that his only one?
That's the only one I know of. That's the only one I've heard people say they went to.
You know his work, positive black leader. Helping the community, but you know is he a prison abolitionist?
I would probably want to leave that up to him, but based on the type of, if you fuck with Palestine, it's very few people that are thinking free Palestine, but keep all these black people locked up. So I mean,
because I know
I'm sure we can give that title and it wouldn't be wrong. Because
I know he is against calling the cops on people. So that's why I say he might be a prison abolitionist.
And that's why I don't really do it. I really do want. When something bad happens to me, I do want that motherfucker to get beat up and stabbed in jail. But I know that as a human being, that's not fucking cool. Yeah. And I that's why I don't fucking call the cops.
You don't want to be the one to put him in jail, but you if he is going to go there, let these things happen.
If something happens to where he goes to jail and gets beat up and get his butt took, I'm gonna rejoice. But I'm not gonna be the one that do it.
Yeah, but Marc Lamont Hill, he was saying I seen the few things from him recently, on other podcasts that he's on, or just other places speaking, where he was saying he's against calling the cops on people. And this old clip resurfaced where he was speaking somewhere. I think it might have been in Philly, because another person that works with somebody that works with the city of Philadelphia actually posted that and said he remembered when it happened. Marc Lamont Hill was speaking somewhere, and this woman came up and pepper sprayed them. I think it was a woman that just is a sexual abuse survivor, and and then had other trauma and other mental health challenges going on, where I think she believed that Marc Lamont Hill and was working with the government or something to hurt victims. It was just from her mental health challenges and her trauma with a lot of things, it just made her to believe something that might not be true. And she tried to pepper spray him. And, security was able to contain the situation, and the pepper spray didn't get in his face or anything. And he handled the situation by saying, "Don't call the cops on her. I don't want her arrested."
Wow, that's commendable, actually.
Yeah, and I think even somebody broke in his in the Uncle Bobby store. I think somebody vandalized that shop, and he didn't want that person arrested either. And it made me think of just how I would handle certain situations, where it's tough because it's you don't want to you don't want to get people arrested, but it's tough when you're stuck in that environment.
Yeah, I get it, and
because I think about with my situation where people was breaking in the building, right? Now I think about if I didn't have the fortune to be able to move into a new building where people don't break in, or people could be breaking in and I just might not know it because I'm on a different floor now. Only reason I knew people was breaking in at that building because I was literally the first apartment. So it's I always think damn, how moving forward, if I had to come across a situation like that, or just any other situation where it's damn, do I want to call the cops on people?
But it's just fucked up because sometimes if you want to file claims or something, or insurance claims, it's hard to do it without police reports and restraining orders. I don't want to get the cops involved. I just don't want this motherfucker around me. So I just want a form that says this. But without a police report, it puts you in a fucked up position. Especially if you're a fucking victim of a domestic dispute. Now you got the cops all in your fucking business, ask you questions that they shouldn't be asking. Humiliating you. Now talking to the police is just a fucking terrible experience all the time. Yeah. Whether or not you called them or they just fucking with you. So
it's also
that shit sucks.
Yeah, it's also tough when it be a domestic dispute and you try to like break it up and try to help out.
No, I ain't breaking shit up.
And they both jump you.
Yeah, no, I don't get involved in shit like that in public. If I don't got a gun, what the fuck I got? What the fuck am I doing trying to stop some shit?
Yo,
if you beating up a woman, you're a dude.
No, not even just that. If a chick will fight a nigga, she'll fight you. Two people in love will come together to beat your ass.
Yeah, I be staying out of shit. I mean, there's definitely time. That's a time maybe you call the police.
Yeah. But shit, I guess you want to get into some of the topics this week.
Fuck. What else? $15 is a lot for a magazine, dude. I mean,
for some old shit.
That's a year subscription to some new shit.
Yeah. What magazine was it? Was it what, some Jet Ebony?
No, it was an old art magazine. It's cool, and I appreciate it. It was well kept. Perfect.
I will say that, yo. I'm tired of these coffee shops aesthetics.
But the only reason I didn't want to do it is because it was black. You know, if it was a white person, I wouldn't have any remorse because, you know. But I don't want to ever be that guy that comes into black establishments and tries to fucking play them, you know.
No, but I mean, like even when I was still living in Brooklyn, you know, I was around the Chinatown, and it was a breakfast spot, and these niggas had vinyls up. It was like, yo, what the fuck y'all know about Illmatic?
The Chinese restaurant?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like a breakfast spot, but
it's just a Chinese owned breakfast place. They didn't sell Chinese food.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's the thing now. Is like everybody is going up with the vinyls, or you know what I mean? Yeah.
But I feel what you're saying. I'm trying to support businesses. I'm not trying to get fucked over by them. I'm not trying to get. I'm not trying to be a sucker. But
yeah, and it's like I would be able to support y'all if y'all niggas wasn't going to Urban Outfitters to buy a $35 copy of The Love Below to hang on the wall.
Yeah,
that's what it,
I don't trust all that shit. But you know, I will say the place that I went to. I'm not even gonna say the name because I don't want anybody to think that it sucks, because it is a good spot. But $15, I'm not doing that. You ruined my showers for the rest of my life. Every time I shower, I'm gonna think, God damn it, I should just gave me 15.
But I guess we get into some topics this week. Starting off with, you see, it's been a lot of the mass deportations going on right now with ICE cracking down.
Yeah.
ICE has been cracking down on immigrants all over. They sent out the National Guard in California.
Yeah,
which I believe a judge just ruled that that the president handled that illegally. And
it's illegal, and it's not how things are done.
Yeah, and so
that's not what you do.
Yeah, because even people always say like when Obama was president that I believe he actually handled more deportations.
Yeah, I know Joe Biden deported a lot more people than Trump did 4 years prior. So that's something I don't understand why Joe Biden was terrible on the border. He was deporting motherfuckers. What are you talking about? But whatever.
Yeah. And so Trump used the National Guard, but the judge ruled that the National Guard, that power would go back to the governor.
Yeah, you can't force the fucking National Guard on on a state. And this is coming from the states' rights people. No, abortion, states' rights. Fucking the Confederacy. It was the Civil War is about states' rights.
Or school.
School. We should have the right to pray if that's what the state wants. But this motherfucker sent National Guard to shoot fucking civilians and news reporters. All right, let me slow down a little bit. But
no, that was crazy. Where the dude just like aimed the what were they shoot, like bullet the bags.
I think it's rubber bullets. I want to say I'm not totally sure. Don't quote me on that. I probably should look into this before I start spreading any information about that. But they definitely are shooting projectiles, non-lethal projectiles, at media.
Like when they slowed down I'm sure you talking about when they was an Australian reporter.
There's multiple instances reported. If you look it up, I don't know how many there are, but
because I saw one video like where they slowed it down and you see the dude like clearly turn from the crowd and aim it directly at the reporter.
Yeah, and Dog, it's fucking crazy. But that's what when we had the past 10 years of, half the country basically saying, fuck the media, they're all liars. Fuck them. They're liars.
And
well, I mean, it's gonna start being okay to them.
And the Trump supporters, they will always get mad when people would
rubber bullets. That's what it is, and pepper spray apparently.
Okay, the Trump supporters, they will always get mad when people would say or compare Trump to Hitler. Say like, but these are the same tactics. These are the same tactics of how those events started back then. We're just watching it replay in front of us now.
Yeah, and I think it is funny how everybody that you don't like basically is called Hitler. They were saying Obama was basically Hitler. Mm-hmm. They would say that shit. And even if, all right, so let's say Obama was trying to be like Hitler. Wouldn't the next president's job to be, let's get far from Hitler. We were Hitler before. Right. Nobody's done that. Yeah. Even if you fuck with whatever guy you fuck with, Biden, Trump, their goal should have been to avoid Hitler comparisons.
Right, yeah.
Everybody, we can't just keep brushing off. It don't matter who the fuck you like. Being compared to Hitler is something somebody should look into.
And
I don't know, man. It's crazy as shit.
And with this, you had people saying like, black people, we should stay out of this. This isn't our fight.
Yeah.
And
that's some bullshit.
It is, because it's like, it is our fight because people forget it's also black people getting deported too. Yo,
that's what I've been telling people. Fuck all that, because right now they just going after migrants, but after that it's anybody with a big forehead. So we think we safe, but it's going to be the Mexicans and South Americans. Then it's going to be like the Haitians, Bahamians, at the same time.
That's what's happening in Brooklyn. Like is ICE going through like Flatbush, Little Haiti.
Yeah. So Haitians.
Right, so Haitians, Jamaicans, like anybody from the islands, and shit, they just detained the dude from TikTok.
Yeah, I saw that. He's Italian, the Senegalese Italian guy.
How do you pronounce his name?
KB
Lane.
KB. I don't know, but he's known for being a chill person and not stirring up trouble.
And that's the thing. So to say it doesn't affect us, the most famous person on TikTok got detained.
Yeah, you could look at somebody's eyeballs and tell whether or not they was born here sometimes.
It's fucked up because when they detained him, I wonder if he just went. he ain't say nothing. He just shrugged like the videos. Yeah. It was like, where your papers at?
Yeah, I've never seen him even open his mouth, let alone talk. That's just funny as fuck. So I remember watching the news coverage and they said he basically got, you gotta leave, but we're not gonna fucking send you.
No, I think they did detain him, but then he voluntarily chose to leave.
Yeah, because he was like, fuck this, I'll go back to Italy. Yeah. I'll go hang out with some goddamn pretentious white people in Italy. At least they're not trying to fucking break my window and drag me to Venezuela.
And with that, with the whole saying that people saying this isn't our fight, it comes from a place of ignorance.
Yeah,
and
it's
even
so weird.
And what's fucked up is people saying that the people are saying that it's like y'all niggas not even being asked to help. Y'all could it's like if you feel that way, you could literally just stay silent and not speak on it.
Just voluntarily being like, fuck it. I don't think we should be involved. When in reality you ain't going. These niggas not going to do nothing anyway. These ain't the people that was throwing motherfucking bricks at the police 5 years ago. I wasn't even doing that.
And it's our fight because, when it comes to, discrimination, you literally only one step away. Just because you might not be discriminated at this time doesn't mean that it might not reach you or come for you.
Yeah, it's very silly. So you think that they can, if you really understand that black people are the most mistreated people in this country, you think that they going to mistreat some other people and they be like, all right, don't fuck with the black people.
All right.
When has that ever happened that you allowed to punch a Jew in the face and then niggas is safe? Because, we'll all end up better off with just the same steam. Because the differences between us get used against us constantly. Right. They're using Asians. They've been using Asians against us this whole time. Since they've been allowed in the fucking country.
Right.
Motherfucking with the affirmative action shit, giving them fucking, giving them business loans and shit instead of us. That's not something we should be holding against them. That's something we should be having a discussion about. Like, you low key being used against the communities you in.
And that's my whole thing. Like, even like, how we always speak up, like, as far as like when it comes to trans rights, it's like when people discriminate against them, it's like, black people, we was once told you can't use that bathroom. Yeah. Or you can't use that water fountain. So it's like to see those same tactics being shown to another group and not have empathy is wild.
Yeah. Because, again, if my sister wanted to get some strong ass shoulders, where she was just like, fuck, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing shoulders every fucking day, and she started looking like a man or some shit. So now it's cool to like not let her in the bathroom and beat her up and shit. And, this shit affects everybody. And I did kind of mention that other races are being used against us. I didn't mean it like we should be. I mean, we should be not fighting each other because of that, because they use black people against Mexicans. We seeing it right now. They saying, y'all was born here. They wasn't born here. You need to fight them. They not our problem. Right. The problem is fucking billionaires. It's funny as fuck to me, because if you ever been to a protest before? Neither of us have ever been to protest before.
Not on purpose.
Okay, yeah.
When Trump got elected, or I mean, even in it's been plenty of times where I get off the train and I end up like I'm going to a show and I end up in the middle of a protest.
Yeah, that's fine. If you seen Anthony at a protest, that was the only reason he was there. All right. Point is,
I was trying to figure out, how do I get around y'all niggas?
You got to march your way through, like yeah, and then as soon as they turn, just keep walking that way. It's easy as fuck to just do that. But yeah, like I said, we not out there throwing bricks at the police. But if you were to see firsthand footage or some shit of the way people protest, you would know that a lot of them, even though there's a main thing, there's a bunch of shit that those people also agree on. So they're out there saying the same thing. People ain't out there about just ice. Palestine.
But I will say, what I don't like, and I just had to I'll unfriend comedians for this. Like, I still get on Facebook every once in a while, but I'll see like I saw this Jewish comedian say, like, when the Black Lives Matter protests was going on, we stood up for y'all. Now is your time to speak up for us.
Yeah, I don't like that shit. Who the fuck is you to tell me what the fuck I'm gonna do?
And also it's like, oh, so you was just, it's like
some quid pro quo shit.
Right. That is like some that do sound like some fucked up Jewish stuff though. I'm gonna support you for IOU. Like,
you keep putting me in these positions.
Like, come on, bro. Don't be stereotypical now. Nigga, I'm only giving you the support as a loan.
Yeah, the next thing, I gotta be careful what I say next, but you're not supposed to get payment for. You don't get paid for protesting.
Niggas is giving solidarity as a credit. I want to talk about since we talking about this, I'm gonna play this clip where Trump was talking about the whole situation about. I think he's kind of changing his stance on the deportations, but he's changing his stance for like the wrong reason.
Oh, he has dementia. Of course, he's changing his mind about some shit.
If you look today, I put out a statement today about farmers. Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have, maybe not. And you know what's going to happen and what is happening? They get rid of some of the people because, you go into a farm and you look and people they've been there for 20, 25 years and they've worked great and the owner of the farm loves them and everything else. And then you're supposed to throw them out. And you know what happens? They end up hiring the people, the criminals that have come in, the murderers from prisons and everything else. So we're going to have an order on that pretty soon, I think. We can't do that to our farmers and leisure too, hotels.
He said we got to do something about that. You have to. You started the shit.
No, but he's like, all right, these illegals are cool because we making money off them.
Yeah.
So it's like not even looking at them as people. He's just looking at them as like a business commodity.
Bro, that's what we've been saying the whole fucking they're going to farms. I watched videos of them. I watched news footage of this. Yeah. They're chasing them nigga through a farm, a Mexican nigga through a farm. He running. I don't know where the fuck he was running to. Even if he got to the tractor, he gonna go 5 miles an hour. So I don't know where the fuck he was running to. But ICE was chasing this motherfucker through a field. Yeah. He's picking fucking produce and shit. And they raiding Home Depots. Like that's their plan is to raid Home Depots.
That shit is fucked up.
These are the people that are looking for money, for making for jobs, to make money and to low-key stimulate the economy. So what the fuck? And it is funny to see this motherfucker literally argue against himself. We can't be hurting the farmers. This is all shit that they're doing. Who is he asking to not hurt the farmers? Because this is all on. Oh no, it's right here. I was gonna look something up.
No, I wanted to. So last week, we talked about the whole the mayor campaign that's going on right now in New York for like the Democratic primaries.
I've been seeing a lot of. I watch YouTube, so I've been seeing a lot of like anti fucking Mamdani ads.
It's been a lot going on because, but the people he's been doing great with. Like he was on the Breakfast Club, like had a great interview on there. Just talking about his policies and the things that he wants to implement going forward with. Like he wants to make the buses free.
Yeah, I heard about that. And I said this before. I don't really trust a lot of the shit he says because when I hear shit that I want to hear, I'm questionable or I'm skeptical. But
it's like when your girl tell you, I can't wait to suck that dick tonight. yeah, I know. I see you when you go to sleep.
Damn, you hit me right in the exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to get at. It sounds too good to be true. But the plans that this guy is talking about actually make sense.
But the reasons why this was like one person he was talking to and saying like why they thought he was going to lose.
I was scared. I'm kind of rethinking my stance on that, but I've been seeing the anti, the like negative campaign ads against him, and they're saying he's anti-Semite and that he wants to defund the police. When I see that type of shit, I'm thinking, all the old people are coming out to fucking beat this guy.
Cause look, this is one person right here telling him why he was going to lose.
To lose the election because you do not support Israel enough. To lose.
That's insane. This is like a person that has power to vote in New York telling him he's going to lose the election because he don't support Israel enough. You know how fucking crazy that is? To tell him he's going to lose this city because he doesn't support some other country. Like nobody else would question like you supporting an African country or a South American country.
Yeah, there's several humanitarian crises. Crystals. There's 7 humanitarian crystals going on in Africa right now, and ain't nobody's votes dependent on it.
Crisis. But it's a bunch of them going on, and nobody is talking about the mayor's thoughts on those events. But he been cooking on this campaign.
Yeah, he's honestly just fucking. Again, I love everything he says. He's charismatic. He seems like a nice person, and he's got experience. He's got solid plans. He's not saying, we're gonna fucking eliminate poverty. He's saying let's make the bus free. But that's some attainable shit. It's the bus, not the train, not the fucking the Long Island Railroad and shit. Just make the bus free. That don't sound that deep. But there's other candidates. I don't know all of their fucking names, but he's not even the only good one. It's just we can't have Cuomo, we can't have Eric Adams. Yeah. So if you're in New York and you're thinking let's bring back the guy that sexually assaulted a woman.
Or
It's not, or the other guy that
or the-
sexually
yeah.
assaulted a woman.
Yeah, the bald nigga that can't stop partying.
Yeah, the bald nigga that's always looking for shorties
It really is crazy.
and partying.
And I'm glad mom is comedian. You know Simeon, right?
Simeon who?
Simeon Goodson.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he be talking about it. He got one of the best jokes about it where like he says like this nigga Eric Adams had a scandal with Turkey and came back with no hair. Like we can't have these people, man. We can't have them as mayor.
Yeah, the documents on him are just crazy as fuck, and it's not even that he's corrupt. It's that you don't want somebody that's corrupt and gets caught that's this easy. Yeah. That's the problem. That's my problem with modern politicians. You know, Eric Adams, Trump. What's the one? The white dude with the big teeth that like little girls.
Shit,
Matt something.
Oh, Matt Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
How you getting caught this easy? Y'all don't know how to. Y'all don't know how to nobody.
Right? No, that
Y'all don't know how to stage a. I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
That nigga, Matt Gaetz was on Venmo like, yo, this is for that time I paid you for underage sex.
It'd be that simple.
this is hey, this $25 for that 16-year-old box.
Yo. And they just talk their shit and don't give a fuck if anybody could possibly be recording. These are cokeheads that aren't paranoid. What the fuck? They're doing lines of cocaine with strippers and not paranoid. This doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But you know, let's have Eric Adams back. Let's have the fucking cop. Sure.
Let me see. Do you want to talk about the Simone Biles situation?
I'm tired of talking about trans. It's like there's not that many trans people, dude. There's like 6. There's fucking 12 transgenders, and I think they deserve that. I just think again, it's just one of those things that it just the fact that one transgender athlete might invade an entire public school, whole public school system. One trans kid can blow this whole shit up. So you telling me all the homeless kids, all the motherfucking, all the kids that's in juvenile detention centers and shit, they not a problem, but one trans kid is a problem.
No, because that's why, like, because when I wasn't familiar with this Raleigh Gaines person, I wasn't familiar with so basically just to speed through this real quick, Simone Biles had got into a situation with this person online about trans athletes. And Riley Gaines, she was a former swimmer.
Dude, I actually do want to talk about this now. This is good.
Yeah. So Riley Gaines, she was a former swimmer, and she turned into like this conservative influencer after she lost a race. She lost the race, and so I had to look into this because the race was against the person. What's the trans athlete's name? I think it's Leah Thompson.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, I remember seeing like a documentary about what's her name? Leah Thompson. This fucking
okay, all right. So
Leah Thomas. Yeah. She apparently swam and I think lost most of them.
And that's the thing. That's why I had to look it up. I'm like, this person that like Riley is complaining about. Riley tied with Leah Thomas, and they both came in 5th place. It's like, bitch, you lost yeah. It's like, all right, you tied with this trans person, but you lost to 4 other people.
Yeah. You're willing to dismantle the human rights of an entire nation because you got 5th place in a race. You're despicable. And I actually did want to talk about this because, like I said, I'm really sick about talking about transgender athletes because again, it's genuinely not an actual problem. And any like fucking what's her name, goddamn Breakfast Club lady is just why it's not a problem.
And but just one thing I did look up too is that outside of like you can't just say like I'm gonna be a woman and now
you have to undergo.
You gotta like you have
therapies and
like your hormones,
medical therapies.
Your hormones have to like be at a certain level to where like they can't say it's an unfair advantage.
Yeah, that's what I learned that from Leah Thomas from her documentary.
Yeah, and also I believe when she did transition, her time was like 15 seconds slower. So it was like this was a full process of like, you know, it. But what were you gonna say?
Well, I want to make sure we get all of this topic out because before I move on to another topic, because how many, if you want to compete against, if you're a trans woman, you want to compete against men, most of the time you're gonna lose. I'm pretty sure, because I mean, you're taking the hormones, so you're gonna be slowing yourself down. Yeah. So it's not. I'm sure. You know, even if you take the hormones, you're not gonna suck completely. But there's not been any recorded instance of a trans athlete winning every event or in a tournament or just winning, you know, all the races or, you know, every boxing match and all that shit. Where are they supposed to place? Would we be okay if every transgender swimmer ended in last place? Would it be okay then? That's my question.
Right. Yeah. Because even
you can't win once.
Because even reading this, it says like right here, Thomas finished 6th place, losing to 4 other losing to 4 cisgender women and another transgender woman. Wait, what's it? No, well, I don't know.
A transgender man, so basically somebody who was born a girl and transitioned into a man.
Nigga,
beat this.
Nigga, this shit getting confusing for me.
Yeah, it's fucking. Nigga, that's why I keep saying it's bullshit. Just let them do what they want, so we don't have to keep learning shit. I don't want to keep learning, reading books and learning goddamn terms. Just let them live and kiss each other. So this transgender woman, boy transitions to girl.
Yeah,
finished behind 4 other cisgender born girls, stayed girls, and somebody who was born a girl and turned into a man. So there's really no advantage there.
Nigga, and also too, nigga, if I had to put in the work to get in the UPenn, nigga, you gonna let me be whatever I want.
That's a good point, man. I couldn't. I was born at UPenn and I couldn't get into that motherfucker. You know how fucked up that shit is to be born in a place and then 18 years later they're like, get the fuck out of here. You ain't getting a scholarship, nothing.
You know how many times I walk down 40th Street? Y'all can't let me in here. Oh shit!
Nigga, I ain't seen the inside of one. I saw an incubator and then never been back in none of them buildings. All right, so yeah, what I wanted to talk about was the only reason I do want to even bother, you know, debating with like, you know, the transgender athlete shit is there's actually like a skateboarder, a girl who does contests that, you know, basically placed behind trans skaters or some shit in contests, and she's also an Israeli, which, you know, make what you want of that. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just saying she's a transphobic skater, and she's basically made herself like a right wing mouthpiece. And when I tell you that this bitch is garbage, you might not be able to tell because if you don't skate, you don't know. But this white girl is fucking garbage. She's terrible. The fact that she thinks she even deserves to be seen riding a skateboard is insane. Let alone think that she deserves to compete in contests, and when she gets beat by 10-year-old girls, she's terrible. It's like, so now I'm thinking, how many sports did I watch that I don't really know how good, you know, you have to be to like actually like I can't tell how
because
good people are
because we don't know swimming.
Yeah, I don't know swimming. It was like, these probably are just garbage women that are just complaining.
I mean, honestly, that's what it usually is.
They're just trash.
You don't get, and I think that comes with anything. Like, you know, because I mean, even we see it in comedy. You never get the complaints from the people who are great. You get complaints from people that are mediocre and feel like something else is holding them back other than themselves. Yeah,
like when I tell you this woman, I watch videos of her skate. I'm gonna try to explain it in a way that if you don't skate, you understand it. But she's literally trash. There's no reason for her to be even in contest because she probably started. I don't know. It looks like she just started 6 months ago. Like she's that bad.
Yeah.
And I watch kids, regardless of gender, 9-year-old kids, fucking jump off of the top of goddamn buildings, and she's fucking like 30 something. She's terrible, fucking awful, and it's just fucking hilarious now that I have that perspective.
And
it sucks because skating is a funny thing where if you do contests, you actually kind of whack. Like, it's not cool to make money,
right?
But everybody complaining that we broke and don't got health care, but it's whack if you compete in skate contests and shit. So it's just literally the wackest of the wackest Israeli anti-transphobe, fucking chick that's just rallying against this shit. So that's probably what we're seeing in swimming and in gymnastics and basketball.
So one of the things, like, in this whole Riley Gaines, Simone Biles, like, feud online, Riley was basically saying, like, how would you feel if you had to compete against men? And the thing is, Simone Biles is, like, arguably the greatest gymnast to live.
Yeah.
And so, like, if she was competing about men, it's men that's tried to perform the, like, I don't know how to refer to that shit, the flips or the tricks that, like, Simone Biles have, like, landed, and men can't do it.
Yeah.
So
didn't she do like illegal shit? That was her that was doing illegal shit, basically.
I'm not sure. Like,
shit that basically they said you can't do this in contests because you can't compete with that.
Yeah.
If you were to try to train every kid to do that, some would die. That was basically the type of shit she could pull off. And it might be Simone Biles. I hope I'm not. Isn't Gabby something another gymnast?
Oh, Gabby Douglas. That's the one that hit the Dougie. That was terrible.
Shout out to her and her white boyfriend, I'm sure. But I mean, both of them, black women in gymnastics, and Simone Biles specifically she kind of like husky, like she kind of fucking brolic. So niggas is probably saying she's a fucking man, and I can't imagine thinking that this girl would be on your side. Any muscular woman should understand that they coming for you too.
And so
you got shoulders, they after you.
But the thing, and I really don't like that Simone did this. Simone, like, she issued the apology. She issued the apology to Riley, basically saying that, like, she didn't mean to make her comments so personal towards her. And the right wing people, they took that as a win, and that's why you really don't apologize to those type of people, because when you do back down on your stance, now it just gives them more ammo to spread their hate.
Yeah, I definitely feel that you got to stand on business with those people, but this is a woman that just is not she didn't sign up to be a fucking political activist. Yeah. She's just good as fucking gymnastics. Yeah. Those type of people, especially online, probably send her death threats, fucking dox her, send her, DM her address. I know where to find you, bitch. All that type of shit. So I'm not gonna. I could understand why you would want to walk back your comments while still not trying to be on their side. Just I don't fuck with nobody that tries to appeal or appease right wing audiences. I think that shit is whack as fuck. And you're kind of saying you're okay with fascism, but like saying you scared of them, I get you. They got guns. If you want to be protected, say a civil war broke out, a lot of us would be hanging out with homophobes right now. I'm pulling up to the barbershop. They're gonna protect me. They're gonna be saying some shit about niggas in dresses.
They're gonna be playing R. Kelly music.
They'll be playing R. Kelly, but I'm gonna be safe. They might even let some, gay dudes in the shop, and we all hang out and wait out till the morning while the shooting stops. But they gonna be playing Lil Wayne songs with the F word in it, and we gonna have to all sit back there and take it.
I think you might like this. So this past week, the BET Awards took place this past week. Did you catch any of it?
The funny thing is, I've only seen stuff that streamers are talking about.
Okay.
I haven't even seen it. I don't even know what happened at the actual BET Awards.
Well, this is.
I just know what the streamers were doing and saying. It's weird.
Well, this is perfect for you because this situation happened with a streamer there, and it happened before the event, and then it kind of continued, like during the event. So Kai Cenat was there, and Kai Kevin Hart was the host of it. Kevin Hart was the
He
host.
hosted the BET Awards?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he did a great job. Man. Niggas gotta put some respect on Kev. And he did a great job. And I'm not just saying this because I'm looking for another check.
Yeah, maybe I should. You know what, Kev? I didn't watch it, but I know just from the kind of fearless leader you are,
But
our fearless comedy leader, I bow down and await for your instructions.
but yeah, he did.
Yeah, let me get some money, nigga. Does that work?
He did a good job. And in this,
It don't sound that good if you translate it from Chinese. Yeah. That's why you gotta say that authoritarian shit in Chinese because it sound hard. But you can't be like fearless leader. Just don't sound that good in English.
Yeah. But he I think he actually told them like he didn't want to host without Kai being able to stream it. So it merged both of the worlds, and he's helping bring up people like him and Drewski. But Kai was at the event. When he was on his way to the event, he was backstage and he ran into Wale, one of your favorite rappers. And he actually, did you see the interaction?
I have not seen Wale do anything in a long time.
Oh, so you haven't even heard about what took place?
Yeah, I don't really.
Oh, so
I don't have cable, so I mean I don't know. Where do you watch award shows?
Oh, so you really gonna enjoy this? I watched it on Hulu, but
Yeah, I don't have Hulu. I got a fucking Gamecast.
All right. Wait.
How you doing? My boy? My boy? What up, Rusky?
This kind of looks like, you know, in the end of wrestling, they would walk out and then like somebody would get Stone Cold Stunnered in a parking lot. I like this. I like where we're going here.
What up, Rusky? You good? What you playing on your Nintendo Switch? Smash. Smash Bros? I'll beat you. Alright, gang. Chad, does anybody have the Nintendo Switch? You're not even a Nintendo Switch type of nigga. Nah, me neither. I ain't gonna lie. But I heard it was like crazy though. I heard it was crazy, bro. Wale. Oh my God, that was somebody crazy. Hey, the whole chat knows him.
Wale.
Wale? What he do?
Rap.
Oh, word.
Lotus Flower Bomb is on or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so he didn't even know who that was.
No, this actually sucks because a whole entire generation that didn't know about Wale is probably gonna find out about him now.
Yeah,
and that sucks.
But that's good though. That's good because
no, it's not good because they're gonna be listening to Wale. They'll be wasting their fucking time.
Come on, man. Wale got some shit.
I'm not. I refuse to concede.
See, man.
Stance.
I was there. I was there when Pretty Girls came out, man. I was there for More About Nothing. And you know, Wale, I think that's what really hurt Wale's career is like how he responds to stuff on the internet. Like instead of being appreciative of where you are, because it's a lot of rappers out there that would love Wale's career.
Yeah, I mean, he was
he bro, like,
remember the fucking it was like MMG mixtapes.
MMG.
I can't lie, I actually used to fuck with that shit.
Lotus Flower Bomb.
I don't know what that. I never listened to like his own stuff really.
Bad, like the shit. Like Wale, he has the goodness of the music is subjective, but he has had charting singles.
Yeah, I feel the same way about him I feel about J. Cole. Like, I don't think that if you listen to the music, I don't think you're dumb or you have bad taste. I just think it's fucking corny.
But
that's just my opinion.
But this is how Wale chose to respond to this when Kai was talking to Snoop.
That shit making me look crazy right now. I'm just letting you know.
What?
That's making me look crazy. The exchange that we had in the hallway. It's
Oh, my bad, bro.
they running with it, but we'll talk later.
That's a child, dude. He's probably like 15 years younger than him.
Right, but Wale probably didn't even realize like the cameras are still on Kai. Like the stream was still going on, and that was captured live. And it's like you supposed to kind of just let that slide. And Kai, he later like spoke out about this, saying that like he wasn't trying to play him or anything, but he said he was 9 in 2011. Like this is
damn. How old is this kid?
I think he like 22, 23.
Damn, I'm really. I'm not old. I'm still young, but I feel older all the time.
I mean, but you also
I'm getting aged out.
But you also got older siblings, so you
a lot of my homies is old too.
So
I guess so.
With like with Wale responding that way, it's like no matter how famous you think you are, there's always going to be somebody out there that don't know you.
Yeah, there's always going to be a kid that didn't listen to fucking whatever bullshit you put out 10 years ago.
Or no, but even like in our fields, right? Like and people online were saying that Kai shouldn't be in the space that he is if he doesn't know about hip hop culture, or how are you going to be a media figure and you don't know about the history before you? And it's like easily, it's like no matter how famous you think you are, there's always going to be somebody out there that don't know you. Like me, I've been doing comedy for a good while. I thought I grew up like I would say I grew up a comedy fan, but I've never watched an episode of Curb. I've
watched almost all of that. That is a great show.
No, I hear it is, and I do want to go back to watching it. But
no, I think you shouldn't watch it because it's such a great show, and certain shows like that can be so influential that I see the way it affects other comedians. And I see certain comics, working comics, open micers, all the way up to fucking vets, and I'll be you either gotta forget that you watched that shit, or you gotta stop watching it now because you sound like fucking Richard Pryor, or you're acting like Larry David right now, and you're not acting like yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean, you might have a fucking power that a lot of comics don't have.
And I think that actually, because I haven't seen certain shows, I think that might help with my like originality just a little bit, just
because you don't even have to think about, oh, is this too similar to you never saw it before?
Right.
Even if you weren't stealing. But I think about, I grew up a comedy nerd too, and everything I write down, I'm thinking, did anybody do this? Am I taking somebody else's voice? You got to be critical of that shit. That's why I can't watch other comics.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I remember it was like one day I was at the Cellar, and J. Anthony Brown was there. Right now, J. Anthony Brown. In my world, he's a legend.
He is. He definitely is. Definitely is.
For those that don't know J. Anthony Brown, he played the guy. He was in Drumline. He was the older guy in Drumline that was trying to get Nick Cannon to come to his school. Now, for me, I'm hyped. Like, right, because this was like, and actually, he said this was his first time like ever performing there. And like, and was super cool. Took a picture with me when he got off stage. But I'm like, I'm at the back table telling the white comics, I'm like, yo, that's J. Anthony Brown. And they just don't have a clue. And I'm like, yo, he been doing comedy well over 40 years. Like he had his own comedy club in LA.
Yeah, I remember. Did I tell you the story when I saw him in the park in Central Park? It was me and just a couple of other comics that it was like right when COVID ended, technically.
Yeah. Okay.
So we were still doing shit in the park, and it was fun actually. It sucked, but it was fun. And we had a microphone and a rolling speaker, and we were telling jokes. And then George Wallace and fucking J. Anthony Brown walked up.
That's
and
crazy.
they were just like listening to us tell jokes and shit. And he was like, yeah, come out. I got a comedy club in LA. And I was like, that's not a real invitation. He's just saying it to a kid in the park to keep his hopes up. And I appreciated that.
No, I definitely.
But it was funny as fuck. Because I knew George Wallace. I could tell. He had the hat.
Yeah.
And he was tall. And I was like, that's fucking George Wallace over there. And he was over there. He's like, yo, y'all keep going. The generic advice you give to kids.
No, but it's funny though, because that generic advice does, like, that could be the difference between you quitting
and that's why they say it, because he's not going to remember saying that to anybody he says that to, but the people that'll heed the advice, it works, and the people that quit anyway, fuck it.
But and it's funny because it's like, those guys legends, and not to knock Wale, but that is like a sign to like, you know, just humility.
Yeah, that's like me saying, man, who the fuck is Hamburger? And a hamburger. Yo, let me talk to you, little man. You don't know me.
Hamburger.
I'm Alonzo Ham. That's his name, right?
I
Alonzo.
don't know.
I am Hamburger.
Hamburger. Yeah, because even like, you know,
Motherfucker, you don't know me. I'm Shucky Ducky. Come here, little nigga. Shucky Ducky quack quack. You don't know that? You don't know Shucky Ducky quack quack.
This is just for us.
There's gonna be like 10 people that know who Shucky Ducky is that's gonna find this just as funny. That Shucky Ducky.
Yeah.
Is he alive still?
Yeah, I think so.
I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shucky Ducky. Quack quack.
Oh, that shit, man. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. No, but yeah, cause like, I mean, even I met him.
Those are the two funniest people
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, I met him. I remember like,
Larry.
no, I didn't.
You met Larry David?
No, I met Jeff Garland.
Oh, well, yeah, he's a big fucking
Yeah, like cause Jeff
comedies.
Yeah, Jeff Garland. Come on, he up.
You want to play right now?
He up from his nap and he needs some attention.
Yeah. All right, I see.
No, but at the cellar, I met Jeff Garland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now me, like I said, I never watched Curb, so I didn't know he was on that at all when I met him. I just knew, I was like, oh shit, this the nigga from Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, he was in some low key fire shit other than Curb. Cause I remember when I watched Curb, I was like, yo, I know this guy from somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew him from Daddy Daycare, but he was on Wizards of Waverly Place. I was a Disney Channel kid by proxy.
Okay.
And it's just funny because I was a kid, you know. You just watch kid shit, but that's why I think comics need to keep doing like childish shit, movies and everything. Because Chris Rock, you know, we see Chris Rock out there, we think, yo, this is the dude, you know, bigger and blacker, and he a zebra from Madagascar to me, and he always will be.
Damn, it's funny. It is funny how you get introduced to some certain people.
Eddie Murphy, nigga. I'm watching. We was watching Shrek with no idea that Eddie Murphy was the greatest comic of all time at one point.
Right.
You know, they were thinking this is the fucking height of comedy, and I'm just thinking, donkey.
Yeah, no, it is funny you say that because even what's the little chick that's having baby daddy issues right now? The little black chick.
I don't know. I forget her name. It's gonna come to me.
Wait, I don't know which.
Something Jackson.
No.
Yeah, this is one around the time. Sky Jackson.
Yeah, Sky. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's how I be feeling like when I be seeing people talk about like Sky Jackson, baby daddy issues and stuff like that. I be thinking like, yo, she shouldn't be fucking. Like, this the little girl from Jesse.
I remember. That's what I thought when I saw it. I didn't know she was she 20 now?
No, she older than that.
Damn.
But even like, but I think how old is Sky Jackson? I mean, she might be older than that, but it's like I was introduced to you. How old is Sky Jackson?
Yeah, 23. By the time
she 23, but to me it's like you still off limits because it's like I know you from that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about this. So the Grammys, they just announced that they're having a new category, the best traditional country album. And this is the second time they did this after Beyonce has won something. So the first time, you know, Beyonce, she won Best Dance Electric Recording, you know, when she came out with Renaissance. And then the following year, they introduced the new category, the Best Dance Pop Recording. And now that Beyonce wins the Best Country Album, they're going off. They're introducing the Best Traditional Country Album.
Yeah, definitely. I remember Tyler the Creator said this shit when he won a rap album for an album where he barely rapped on it.
Yeah,
I think he didn't rap on it.
For Igor.
Yeah, he was like, "This isn't a rap album, but you know, thanks for the the best award.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I'm not dropping an N word for no reason. But yeah, basically, I mean, it's kind of a win, you know. It's these award institutions were created without black people's equality in mind at all. You know, the fact that we could be outperforming, the fact that we could be equal to them, let alone outperforming them, is something that nobody envisioned. So the fact that we're making them morph this shit into something totally different, it's kind of cool. It seems like it's their way of not dying when they kind of should. So why is there no new awards that we respect? Why are all these legacy institutions so ingrained that we just can't live without them? They say, who gives a fuck about the Grammys? Except for the fact that if you win one, you know, your career's in a better place, you'll make more money. But other than that, fucking there should be new awards that matter. Other than a fucking Kids' Choice Award.
Yeah, that for real. That's what I want. Like a Grammy would be cool, but nigga, I want to get slimed on.
Pause. Oh. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was outside earlier today, and there was a preschool or some shit. I don't know. The kids were tiny. I don't know how old kids are when I see them, but they were little as fuck, and I saw them, and I just was surprised they could talk because how tiny they were. But one of the kids said them, and the other kid said, "Hey yo," and the teacher was like, "Stop, don't do that. We don't do that here." That was funny. I was like just watching this little kid turn homophobic. He was like this tall. It was fucking hilarious. He might have been like 3 years old.
I just
But
wanted.
he not with that gay shit.
I wanted to talk about this. So, you know, Tyler Perry, he came out with a new movie.
Speaking of that gay shit.
Tyler Perry got a new movie out called Straw. Came out with a new movie called Straw.
It's a black movie called Straw.
Have you seen this? Because I guess
Is that a metaphor for something?
I think it might have to be dealing with
Straw that broke camel's back.
Yeah, like the last straw.
The scrawl that broke the camel's back.
And Taraji P. Henson is the star of this movie.
I want him to make a movie where a woman don't cry.
And I think
I remember I saw the poster for this.
Yeah, I think she's crying like right when this shit started up.
Yeah.
Like she's going through it.
And Taraji is one of the best criers in the world. I will not take that from her.
Oh, when she was crying after Tyrese shut the door and she was crying in the rain. You don't want me no more.
And when he hit her. It was a good cry after that. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it was good that he hit her, but she did a great job. Yeah. Sensitive topics.
Yeah, baby boy. But this movie Straw, Tyler Perry, and so a lot of people are upset, saying that like you gotta give us another movie of a black woman struggling. And also he did give a speech at the BET Awards. He said thank you for making this a #1 movie on Netflix, and he knows that people are going to support his next show that's coming out, Divorced Sisters.
Divorced?
Yeah, Divorced Sisters.
Divorced Sisters.
Yeah.
I honestly think there would be nothing wrong with the movies that he makes, is going to make, if he were to mix it up a little bit. If there was a movie where a black woman just licked a lollipop for 2 hours and smiled, I think it'd be fine. But he just fucking goes trauma.
But I'm torn though, because I get what you're saying, but it's like I said, like my man Jason Statham, I know he gonna drive a car, or I know The Rock gonna be in the jungle with a tan shirt on and some green cargo shirts.
Yeah, Tom Cruise gonna be fucking trying to himself. Somebody gonna have their hands on Denzel. He gonna tell them to get their hands off.
Yeah.
I understand that you got a calling card or something you're known for, but how is the thing you're known for other people's trauma? That's my shit. It's like, nigga, you're not a woman.
Yeah.
And if you are, come out the closet finally. But nigga, you're a dude trying to tell fucking us how a woman's trauma affects them. And you're allowed. He's allowed to do this, but it's just weird that's all he does.
I'm gonna check it out. I am gonna watch the movie this weekend though, because Sinbad is in this.
Oh damn! Shout out to Sinbad. I'm glad he's still like working.
Yeah, this is Sinbad's first role since his stroke. But somebody made a great point. Somebody was online. They said, you know, y'all say Tyler Perry keep making all this bad content, but y'all watch baddies.
Here's the thing about baddies: the people that do, in defense of the people that watch baddies, it's impossible to get lost in the plot. You know, even if you miss one fight, there's another one 10 minutes later. So it's like a fucking perfect brain rot. Sometimes you just want your mind to be elsewhere. So I get that. But movies, you require attention. So you're beaming these images of women crying and getting fucking stole and shit into my brain, and I have to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And the women on baddies, they fight each other. It don't be a dark skinned bald head nigga punching them. If anything, baddies is a bunch of big dark skinned black men breaking up fights.
So all right. So you want to talk about this?
Yeah. We missed this. This was on
Malcolm X's birthday. Matter of fact, let me Google.
Before we criticize somebody, what's his birthday? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I forgot. I saw it and I forgot it already.
Malcolm X's birthday is May 19th.
Yeah.
Okay, so damn. So this was about a month ago now. Yeah. So,
but the funny thing is, I actually saw the recap of this video. I watched Malcolm X the movie.
Okay.
And then I opened up fucking one of the apps or some shit, and then I saw this, and I was like, wow, they're really watching me. But it is cool that if the government is watching you, if you watch some revolutionary shit, they'll give you more.
That's funny as shit. They was like, let me keep tabs on this nigga because he watching Malcolm X. We don't know what he might be up to.
Give me more Malcolm X. It's not bad. So if you stop watching porn and watch Malcolm X, your algorithm is gonna change for the better.
Yeah. So basically, the situation happened in Harlem. On 125th Street in Harlem, you know, along Malcolm X Boulevard, businesses, they shut down for 3 hours to honor Malcolm X's birthday. And Chick-fil-A, they made the decision to stay open. So this is how people responded.
No Chick-fil-A! In Harlem today! In Harlem today! No more Chick-fil-A! No more Chick-fil-A!
So they protested. Black people decided to protest, and I will say this is a crazy way to find out that it's a Chick-fil-A in Harlem.
You like Chick-fil-A though, right?
Nigga, I love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I'm surprised you even let me talk about this.
I
thought you were gonna sweep it under the rug.
No, I mean, I expect a little hate and bigotry from Chick-fil-A. I wouldn't expect them to do anything else.
Yeah, I don't think I've eaten Chick-fil-A.
I wouldn't have been surprised if the workers came out with a fire hose.
Yo, I don't think I've been to Chick-fil-A since I think we went to Chick-fil-A once 2 years ago, and I haven't been back since.
It should.
It is really good. I will give them that. But
because Chick-fil-A is fast food, but they make you feel. Chick-fil-A is the one fast food restaurant that makes you feel like you're not eating fast food. Like you go in there and you get a chicken sandwich and some waffle fries and a milkshake, and you feel like you ate healthy.
Bro, it feels like a diner. You know, it feels like a 50s diner a little bit. It doesn't feel like a fucking McDonald's.
Right. So with that 50 diners feel, I expect them to be like, Malcolm X, I don't care about this nigga.
Yeah. Yeah. So considering it is the 50s. They should just be like, well, I mean, I guess no black people can come into that. So, boo Chick-fil-A for this decision. But we kind of, it's not like we haven't been ignoring that they donated to anti-gay shit for a while. Yeah. But, I thought Chick-fil-A, they were making efforts to be more in the public's good graces. So it's just crazy that they had one fucking store that they had to close for 3 hours.
Yeah, that is wild. Out
of all their stores.
I think they should have. I do think they should have closed.
Yeah, of course they should have. Why the fuck is that? That's anybody who was in charge of that decision is probably gonna be fired because look at the kind of bad press that Chick-fil-A is getting right now.
Yeah.
You know, so even if you don't care about the issue, if you work for Chick-fil-A, you should be firing whoever made the decision to stay open for starting a boycott.
Yeah, because this was so avoidable. This was so avoidable. Just to close for 3 hours. Just to close for 3 hours to show that you're a part of the community.
Yeah, I'll eat at Chick-fil-A, but I'm not gonna be homophobic and racist. There's only one thing I'm okay with. And if I'm gonna cross the picket line, don't make me do it twice. I've honestly still been boycotting Target. Yeah. I don't know how I got away with it this long. Damn. But that's the thing. I go to, if you go to Dollar Tree or Family Dollar or some shit,
you will find some deals. But
I'm saying I can't imagine that those companies are actually, more morally or ethically, good than Target.
But at the same time, these other companies, they're definitely morally wrong too. But at least they not coming out saying like, fuck y'all. It's kind of like with the black people that's saying, I'm not fighting for them protesters. It's like, if you're not going to fight for them, just be quiet.
Yeah, I guess. Right.
So it's like the other places, they not saying that they don't fuck with us, but they not making no changes publicly to their practices saying like, yo, we going to show y'all we don't fuck with y'all.
Yeah. And that was the thing with me. The reason why, I don't even know if boycotting Target is a fucking big deal at this point. If I see a black person going into Target, I'm not going to fucking judge you because I don't know what's going on. But I'm still going. I think the fact that I need it and the fact that I enjoy that store says something. So like if people that if Target is your fucking go-to place for shit, if you're willing to give that up, then that kind of does send a message. It's not a boycott if you give up something you don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
that is
or something that you don't need. I could boycott a fucking shit that I don't buy already easily because I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where I stand with that shit. I just know that I'm not supporting Target until they fucking bring back the pride flags. Wait, do they have pride flags at Target?
I'm not sure.
They're not doing pride shit no more, right?
Let me see. Does Target do pride stuff?
If Target wants to, if Target wants me to shop there again, they gotta put up a statue of a nigga giving another nigga head.
Oh no, Target doing pride stuff.
Oh, they're doing pride shit.
Yeah,
they won't fucking protect them under laws, I guess, right?
Yeah, they got a whole pride. They got a whole pride collection.
They reduced the participation in the initiatives. I really don't think they should be fucking involved in this shit at all.
Oh, if you want to reduce it.
Well, although I will say, I saw a black power fist inflatable thing for like the front of your house. You know how you have a ghost?
Yeah.
It's Halloween, but it was a black power fist. Where the fuck do you get something like that? So I kind of do get why Target would sell pride shit, because if you're going to buy this shit, get it from me. I get that. It's not a political thing. It's, I don't hate money. Give me your fucking money. So I get that. But I really wish corporations would just stay out of ethical conundrums and trying to say, we support you. We here at fucking Target, we stand with you, because it's not true.
Right, yeah.
And you're not a person, so you can't have opinions. You're a fucking conglomerate.
Yeah. But all right, so I guess before we get out of here, we can get to some quick questions from the listeners. One person asked us, just to start it off with something simple. They said, how are y'all doing with life right now? And how are you feeling mentally?
I kind of feel like I'm not wrong to like $15 is a lot for one magazine. That's kind of how I feel. And I'm not saying that,
that shit
they're wrong for trying to charge me that. I'm just saying, I don't think I should feel bad.
No, because
I don't think I should.
Because it gets to the point, we need to it gets to a point where it's like, I don't like how stuff is getting gentrified. Like, I'm with you on that, because you know how leftovers got gentrified as meal prepping? That's how they gentrifying old shit into nostalgia.
Yo, that's funny as fuck that you say that because I definitely did come to that realization because I was meal prepping things. And I was making basically, I would try to make 4 portions or something, and then you maybe freeze it. Yeah. And then I'll portion it out, and then I realized I don't want to eat the same thing that much, so I started making portion for today and a portion for tomorrow. That's literally leftovers. That's not even anything. That's just leftovers.
That ain't meal prepping.
Yeah.
I just can't eat all of this at once.
Yeah, it's just freezing leftovers.
But yeah, so that's what they doing with like old shit. This is an old ass magazine, but now you gonna charge me for nostalgia because you didn't throw it away? Yeah,
it's from the 90s, and I will say, old shit is valuable. I get that, but why the fuck ain't nobody buy it yet since 1992? And now I want it, and now it's $15.
Yeah, how am I doing with life? I don't know. I'm alright. I'm alright right now, but shit, it could change in an hour or two. I can't complain though. I mean, I could complain, but I'm gonna try not to.
Yeah, I think that all the time. You can always complain about something, but I think don't they say forcing yourself to smile actually tricks your brain into thinking you're happy? Mm-hmm. And actually thinking about things that you like instead of things you don't like makes you think. If I'm sitting here thinking about Wale, I'm gonna just be in a bad mood, thinking, I don't want to listen to no fucking music right now. I'm in a bad mood. Yeah. But if I start thinking about Beyonce, then I'm in a better mood.
Yes. Somebody said, "Who ages better, black folks or Asians?" Because they basically said black don't crack versus Asian don't raisin.
That is I don't know if I have an opinion on this. I don't know if there's one that outdoes the other.
I think I would now. I am biased, so I will say black, just because black really doesn't crack throughout all ages. Black, unless like they say black don't crack unless it actually you on crack.
Yeah,
but we age so gracefully, whereas with Asians, I feel like and shout out to the Asian listeners out there. I think the difference is that Asians really only have 3 ages. They go from baby to 20 to 80. Like you never really see like a Asian looking middle age. They just go from young to old.
True. That's very true.
Yeah. That's why they be under the umbrellas.
They live longer than black people. That's my only opinion.
They do. I will say that.
Black people, we look 40 until we look 20 until we're about 40 and then we die.
That's the thing. Black people, we be looking good, but insides be fucked up. Whereas like Asians, these niggas might look old, but they could stretch.
Yeah.
Bro, when I was living in Sunset Park, faithfully, like, I might get up, go running in the morning. Them Asians, these niggas be out there like,
they do like the yoga poses and shit.
Yeah,
they do all of that shit.
That shit, and they don't even know each other. It just be 7 Asians just doing a synchronized yoga class together without speaking.
Yeah, it's like how you throw a piece of bread on the ground, a bunch of birds just come at it. These birds don't know each other. They just fuck with bread.
Yeah.
Yo, that's a great fucking question.
Yeah, so shout out. Like, yeah, so black people, we might age a little better, but we need to take care of ourselves internally, so we could our health can match that, so we could live longer. What good is looking good at 45 if we going to die from heart disease at 48?
Asians don't be having chest hair, do they?
I don't know.
I'm not, because I watch.
That is funny.
About motherfucking like kung fu movies and shit. The master be 90 years old, pull off his robe and ready to fight. No hair on his arms, his chest.
Dude, that is funny that you say that. I've never seen Asian taco meat.
Nah, and black people, we used to have that, but black we don't. I don't got that shit. Chest hair is a dead thing. White people still got it because they monkeys, and they always will be. But it's not.
No, it's
the Neanderthals still got it.
Somebody said, this question was for me. Somebody asked me, they said, Anthony, I hear you talk about fitness. Have you ever trained in combat sports like, boxing, Muay Thai, etc.? And I haven't. That is something I do want to get boxing lessons. As far as one, it's a good workout, and also it is actually like a different type of fighting. Like people think they can fight until like you actually get in a fight, and you realize like most fights aren't actually that long. Most fights, fighting for 30 seconds is actually long in the streets.
Yeah, because realistically, you're not gonna just bob and weave and wait for your opponent to fucking let his guard down. It's usually just throwing as many punches as you can and then grabbing his legs and throw him on the ground.
Right. Whereas, so I do want to actually get some actual, I would want to go to like a actual boxing gym and just get that for the lessons. So that is something I do want to do on my fitness journey. Also, I want to get back to doing hot yoga. Like I've done hot yoga before, but I want to make that like a regular thing. Like find like a hot yoga gym, because that shit, it made me realize like I need to work on my flexibility. And when you see like I was in this hot yoga class, and I'm in there going through it where it's like, looking at these older white women that's in their 60s, seeing like, they able to do it no problem. Like they got their breathing right, they got their flexibility together. It made me say like I need to work on myself in a different way.
That sounds like a fun time. I would just probably need to go in there with some nose plugs or something, because it don't sound like a good smelling environment.
Yeah.
So I would definitely do something like that. I think it's good that you're doing that, because you got to be secure in yourself to be a man. And we comics, so you tell some comics, yeah, I'm about to go to hot yoga. Yeah. You got to be a little bit ready. Can you tell your dad you go to hot yoga?
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
I was thinking.
Nigga.
If you were to explain it to him, he would get it for sure. He 100% would get it, but it's not worth the effort. These motherfuckers about to die. I remember I had that thought when I was just, why am I in my family? I'm like, why am I even? These niggas don't vote. It don't matter.
And the last one, somebody was asking me to just speak on social media notoriety as a drug. So this shit.
It's not a question, by the way. Can y'all start asking questions in question format? I'm about to be a grammar Nazi about this shit.
No, but I guess with social media notoriety as a drug, it's not healthy. Yeah. So social media notoriety is not healthy. And sometimes you just gotta unplug and realize, like, no matter, like, what following you think you have online, you can't let that feed your ego, because it's a real world. It's a real world outside of that. Like, sometimes you gotta unplug from that.
It is an actual drug that we should have tested before ever being allowed to use it, because we genuinely do not know how bad this is gonna get until 30 years later.
Right, yeah, because now we got a generation of people. Like, even us, we know life before social media, but even then we were so young.
Yeah.
So it's like we were introduced to social media through our formative years. So imagine the children that's growing up that all they do know is social media, where you got people getting their dopamine hits in the wrong way. Before, it might be like, through a positive achievement, through something at school. Now we getting dopamine events by barking on TikTok Live for coins.
And we all know it's not good. Right. And that's the thing. There's no positives to the way we use this.
Right.
I mean, marketing, communication with people that you don't have to have their phone number. Those are like really the only good things. But the fact that there's continuous scrolling on everything, YouTube, you can scroll, you never run out of results. You know, your algorithm basically, if you go on any app, your entire feed is people you don't follow.
Right.
So that whole aspect of staying connected with friends, basically gone.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk to people and I want to see them in real life, I say, give me your number. I don't want to have to fucking scroll through a goddamn somebody, you know, basically trying to promote their business just so I can get to the message
right.
that I'm trying to send to you. So it's bad, dog. It's really fucking bad, and nobody really knows what to do about it.
And
because we all know it's bad. It's fucking.
And it's funny, like I didn't even think about that as far as like with the social media. That's why I still do have like with Facebook, I could still see like my family stuff. But like you said, social media, they preach it to you as stay connected with your people. But it's like you got to go through so much shit to actually see the people you want to see on there.
Yeah, and we don't need any. That's the thing. They keep trying to promote and basically we're promoting this advanced technology, make things faster, make things better. Mm-hmm. But that's not what any of this stuff is. AI, I have my opinions of AI that kind of does play into the advanced society. We know we could learn how to cure things faster and shit. I get that there's positives to that, but what the fuck is the positive of scrolling endlessly on your phone until infinitely, never running out of things to scroll on? Being advertised to constantly, having advertisements sent to your phone. Your phone buzzes and it says, "Hey, we haven't seen you in a while. Come fucking buy some shit." Like, what part of any of this is good? The economy's not being stimulated because we had better economies before we had all this social shit. Right. You know, the socials, the fucking, the AI, the goddamn, just cell phones in general, all the mass surveillance. None of this is good. And I'm really trying to figure out how I fucking feel about this shit and where I stand. Because I don't know. I'm trying not to be all fucking. I don't like to be in the conspiracy nut, and I don't like being the contrarian. That's y'all like this. Well, I'm just gonna not like it to sound cool. Yeah. But this shit is really bad.
No, this shit is not healthy. And
anxiety levels, kids are just anxious, and kids are already anxious. You know, there's a fucking.
You know, that's why it's a generation like these kids. I think this just happened in Philly, where I forget which high school it was. It might have been Roxborough High School, but they talked about canceling the prom because children didn't want to go because they couldn't go all out for prom the way they want to. Like, children are not going to prom because it's like, if I can't pull up in a Bentley, if I can't rent this Benz or come through in this suit and just go all out for the let out of it, I'm not even going to go to the actual event to spend with my friends because
you're going to look poor. Who the fuck wants to look poor?
Yeah.
Even at the end of high school. But imagine being the poor kid the whole year, and then you got to pull up to prom and be poor, and then people taking pictures and you can't post it. There's no privacy. That's the other thing. Not only is it a drug, but we have no privacy at all. And it's weird if you want privacy. If you want to be at a concert and not record it, they're like, "What's wrong with this nigga? Why this nigga don't got his phone out?"
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure not. They're not thinking that, but fucking, you definitely stand out if you don't want to record a concert the entire time, or if you're at a party or a club or some shit and you're not taking pictures and, you know, showing off your outfit.
Even
what happened to just putting a fit together and then, you know, that's the other thing. You put a fit together at one place and that shit is fire.
Right.
Everybody saw it. You could bring that shit back tomorrow at another place or at the same place if it's different people. But now you post that shit is burnt. Yeah. You burning outfits. And you only need 3 outfits in real life.
Yeah. Nigga, you know how stressed I was? You like, nigga, I'm about to start wearing beaters on this.
That's why I do this. I don't want to fucking put an outfit together. Shoes and pants.
Yeah.
That's all you seeing. Same shirt, same. I don't wash my beaters. This is the same one I had on 3 days ago. Just spray some fucking Febreze on it.
Yo, that tank top got 82 episodes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, social media really is fucking us up, man. It's giving people, is making people think they're leaders that they really aren't. Is people think they gotta keep up with trends that they really don't have to. You could just unplug and walk away from all of this shit.
But it's hard to imagine your life without it. Especially as a, if you're trying to be a comic or even an actor. I feel bad for actors because as a comic, I post clips, and people like them. And if a million people like them, then I seem like a great comic. But as an actor, why do you need followers?
Right.
If you don't have a single social media app or follower, that should not have any bearing on whether or not your acting career goes anywhere.
Right.
So I don't act, so I don't really know much about that world, but I know that they cast people with a lot of followers because they're thinking maybe, I guess, people will come see it. But we don't want to.
No, but
nobody wants movies with popular people. We want movies with good actors.
And yo, that's one of the things. I know we have. I don't know if we mentioned that before, but I think Quincy did say that.
She said what? That you need a following for it?
No. Quincy, she purposely tries to avoid that. I think.
Avoid what?
Like it was a good while where people kept suggesting people that like, oh, they need to have Drewski as the gym teacher on here, or they need to have this person in the lunchroom. And it's like, no, I just want people that I know get the job done. Or she has had social media people on there because it was this one white dude that like does like rapping skits. He had a video of him rapping like Eminem. Mm-hmm. Like I know he was on the show, or like there's other social media people on there, but
yeah. And I feel comfortable talking about this now because I think about it, and social media is really only a good thing for me. Who the fuck cares if I can ride a skateboard and tell jokes? These aren't things that I need to post. But I like showing it to people. People like seeing it. It doesn't matter. It's not really negative as long as I'm not scrolling. I DM people. I receive DMs.
What they be saying?
Mostly dicks. but I keep in contact. It really is a good thing for me. I don't complain about the fact that I have to have followers because if I were to lock in and just only produce content, there's a possibility that it would work out. So I don't think it's a negative for me. But I look at other people who are negatively affected, like obviously kids.
Yeah.
And people that are judged on it for their jobs. I feel bad for somebody like an actor, or maybe even a fucking like a rapper or something.
Shit, I remember I had a meeting with MTV years ago.
Yeah,
and they said that they were like, yeah, you funny, but this was before I moved up here, so this was like early in my career, like. So at the time, I wasn't even ready to work with MTV, but the reason why they felt like I wasn't ready is because they said like, you're funny, but you need to get your internet presence up,
which doesn't factor in 10 years before.
Right.
10 years before, that wouldn't matter.
Right.
You'd be getting a check.
Right.
That you probably would have earned. You probably would have did a good job, but they care about different shit now.
Right. So it's like.
It's hard to get jobs now. The job market's fucked up and the rules are more stringent.
So it's like I would have rather said like, heard that, it's about me not being ready enough or not good enough at this aspect. But the fact that it came down to that, something that wouldn't have mattered just a few years ago, you need an internet presence.
Yeah. So that definitely sucks. But yeah, I don't think I have much room to complain about social media because if I do something that a lot of people enjoy, then I get engagement from that. So, how is that bad for me? It's not like anybody really needs to watch me fucking talk about my penis and ride a skateboard. But those are just the things that I do, and I could do them 100% independently. I don't need to be on social media. You know, I don't need to go to MTV. You know, I don't like. I could low key just tell jokes and just bum it. You know, drive around the country and do the road or some shit. So that's an option. But as an actor, you know, what the fuck do you do if you can't get jobs?
I'm childish because you say you could ride a skateboard or talk about your penis.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, or you could ride a penis and talk about your skateboard.
Do we have a fucking?
I'm a kid.
We gotta get a fucking. We need a homophobic sound on here.
Yeah.
Don't you think about that though? What if you a rapper and your shit is pretty good, but nobody supports you because you only got 500 followers, so they think, oh, this nigga must be trash.
Right.
If nobody listens to it, I'm not gonna listen to it.
I'm telling you, that really has made like a big difference in, you know, what I choose to. That's why I try to really support what I like.
Yeah.
Regardless of
that's why I genuinely fuck with the Ace Hood shit. And I know it's funny to make fun of because nobody else listens to him. You know, only person that listens to him. But it's just it's fucking cool that you enjoy it and you don't care if anybody else does.
Yeah, because bro, even when I went to the concert, right?
You're the only nigga there.
Bro.
It was you and the security guard.
Bro, when I went to this Ace Hood concert, like I got there early trying to get to the front. It was plenty of room, but it was so dope because at this concert, it was a bunch of niggas that came by themselves because you know it's going to be hard to find a friend that wants to go to the Ace Hood concert with you.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to bring me to that shit. There's no way in hell.
So it was a bunch of us in there that just end up becoming friends, just talking about, yo, I really fuck with this song, or yo, this song really got me through this part of my life. So we was in there just making like these real genuine connections. And I bought a ticket to the show, and this nigga actually talked me into like buying a meet and greet ticket. Like he was just like, yo, fuck it, like you don't know when the next time he going on tour out here. You might as well just do it. So like I ended up doing that. I got me a shirt.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I wish more people would support artists that they like that, because even if you are a hot artist and you make it to, you know, charts and get a deal, how long does your career realistically last?
And
when's the last time you heard an A Boogie with the Hoodie song?
No, and I think,
and I'm not saying that that's a guy I'm a fan of. I'm just saying that guy was charting, and you know, Kodak Black or fucking.
No, but Ace is the perfect analogy for that.
I mean, yeah, he is. I guess we already have a perfect analogy.
Yeah, because like, I mean, look how long ago he dropped "Hustle Hard" and Bugatti.
Yeah, and those were very major songs.
Yeah. So whereas now it's like, I mean, he's still making, like, I know he's still making music.
Yeah.
But you would have to really search for that.
Yeah, it's fucking. What is it? What, Asante? Why don't you fucking think before you start talking? Have a thought first.
No.
But yeah, it's fucking cool that you basically can directly support somebody. Yeah. Because a lot of artists are probably thinking, I'm not gonna fucking keep doing this shit. I can't make any money. So if you can go, I'll fucking give you some money if you keep doing it. Isn't that how it should be? It shouldn't be so goddamn corporate all the time.
Yeah. So if y'all out there listening, y'all want to support us, man.
Yeah.
Send a nigga something.
Yeah.
100th episode. I gotta find an Ace Hood song for that. Shit, you better hope Ace Hood and Big Sean don't drop a collaboration by that time. All right, man. We definitely appreciate y'all tuning in with us for another one, man. Please just keep supporting us. Spread the word about the pod. Like, review, comment, all of that good stuff. Send us questions. Anything you got, anything you want to see on the Patreon or any type of bonus content, let us know what you want, man. Let us know how we can make this pod better for y'all, man. Yeah, it's been a good one. We're going to get out of here. I'm Anthony Moore.
I'm Asante Mars.
And we out.